tools. And our presenter is Felipe Avila. He's a GIS coordinator with Wisconsin Historical Society. And so I'm going to we will be allowing Felipe to show this to us live. And I believe, Coulter, if you would like to share or let him take over the screen, we can proceed.
And I am looking to find Felipe's account amidst all of these in order to start engaging him in this. I'm seeing lots of participants, which is wonderful, and I am struggling to see Felipe. There's Felipe.
There he is.
All right. And let's see, I'm going to, let's see, his video is running. Let's see if we can make him a co-host. All right, Felipe, we have just set you. Are you able to share your screen from your perspective? We've just made you a co-host.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Whenever you're ready to
15 minutes
have that
for
up,
Google
you can take it away.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see. Just gotta do one thing. All right. So my name is Felipe, and I am going to be talking about online screening tool that we made for searching for archaeological sites. Right now, this is a prototype. It's not live yet, but this is something that we're looking to implement in the probably 4 to 5 months once we get a few more things tweaked, and we have to tweak a couple of the back-end things. So our big problem is that we have to share restricted data with people who need access, who need information. With the preservation role at the Historical Society, it allows us to have input on any activity that uses federal funds that could impact the cultural or historic resource. So in a lot of cases, that means someone's building a road and it's going next to a cemetery, or it's going through an archaeological site. If they're getting federal tax money for it, generally DOT project, something like that, that's a problem. The historic preservation law was written in the early 70s. It's a federal law. And so that's where our kind of input starts coming in with that. So the problem is that it's not unusual for archaeological sites and burial sites to have been looted for artifacts. Lots of people are into arrowheads, stone axe tools, things like that. You get the occasional people who think that bones are really cool and like to have them hanging up in their garage. Believe it or not, things like that have happened before. And to kind of settle that problem out, the location, the actual detailed location of archaeological and burial sites are restricted. We don't share them with the general public. So the question becomes, how do you let developers, planners, engineers, people who need to know where this stuff is, how do you let them know that, hey, this could be in conflict without giving away the exact location? So we have a couple screening tools that we use currently. We have a screening tool that we use currently. It's a database called the Wisconsin Historic Preservation Database, or WIPT. And I'll show that to you in a minute. But searching for specific locations is kind of cumbersome. It's not user-friendly. Well, it's not as user-friendly as it could be. There's a better way of doing things. So part of my job has been to figure out what's a better way of doing things, and I'm building a graphical tool that lets us use ArcGIS to help point these things out a little easier. So this is just a screenshot of the application that I built, and I'm going to demo it in a little bit. But basically, it's just it's an ArcGIS online map that has a screening tool in it. The screening tool is just a data layer, and it lets us search on there for the information that people need. So building it is really, really simple. This is all ArcGIS online, and I'm using stuff that's straight out of the box. I'm not doing any custom programming, anything like that. It's super simple, and it's something that you could literally have up and running in like 10 minutes. There's a little trial and error to get it working the way you want, but it's really simple. It works really well. So the way I did it was, in ArcGIS desktop, I built out of my map. I made a service out of it. I published it up on our server. You don't have to do that step. You can't just build a map on ArcGIS Online. I did it my way, so I could have it all ready to go, and then I just pushed it up into ArcGIS Online. Within ArcGIS Online, you make your map where you link into your service, you save it, you go to Configure Web App, and then Web App Builder. You can pick a background, colors, pretty whatever you want to go in the background, and then you add your bells and whistles. And so in this case, they have a bunch of widgets. There's lots and lots of widgets out there. This is all stuff that is in the box. I haven't done any custom programming, just stuff that you see as soon as you open it up. And the one that we're looking for is a screening tool, which is this guy right here. You need to configure the widget. So basically you tell it what layers to search on. In this case, these are the layers in the service that I made. The only one that I really want people to search on is compliance screen. Then you pretty up the map, tweak it, do whatever you want, and you publish it. So now, let's see here. I'm going to show you what this thing actually looks like. And let's see. So hopefully you can see the ArcGIS Online map that I just opened up. Can you guys see it? All right.
Yes.
Okay. So this is it. I have to drag this out of the way. Okay. So we have a couple different ways of searching for objects. You can type in an address, you can draw a box, you can upload a shapefile, or you can plug in coordinates. So in this case, I'm just going to plug in an address. And it auto-populates. And it just drops a little marker on there. I hit the zoom to button, get in nice and tight. I zoom in a little more. And we've got all these section lines. So these sections, these are all section boxes for this particular area. It's actually Fitchburg City Hall where I used to work. Within what I did for my screening tool was I took the town range section data from, I believe, from the SCO, and I just added a couple attributes. I added a couple fields to the attribute table to let people know what they were looking for. So in this case, I'm going to draw a buffer around Fitchburg City Hall, and it's going to make a little report for me. What it did is it's grabbing these 6 sections that are within there, and it's pushing out a report. So what this report is telling me that within Township 6, Section 10, so this section right here that the little arrow is hovering over, there are buildings in the architectural database. There is archaeology there. There are no burials, which is good. So in this case, there's something going on in this section right here. So if I was building something here, like say I was putting a new building here, this would be something that I'd have to research a little further to make sure that I'm not actually impacting a potential historic feature. So then you can do the fun stuff like this, like you can flip into aerial photography. So now you can see that this area right here is a big empty field. It's wooded, and about maybe 6 months ago, they actually started building something in here. This would be the kind of thing, if you were getting federal funding for the project, this would be something that you would want to look at. So I'm going to share one more screen with you to show you how the old way works and why this way is a little bit better. So right now you're seeing the WIPS database, and the way that we're currently searching for stuff is that you plug in a town, range, and section. So in this case, 6 range 9 east, let's go section 10, section 10, and you search. And so this is how it pulls up. This is how it pulls up the site the old way. You have to plug in all the information. You put it in there, then you get the actual, what this site actually was. It's not the most efficient way to work. The current mapping tool, I guess if you want to call it that, is just a really simple topo with the site I highlighted. It's old technology. It's not the best anymore. That's also why we're looking to try and update things a little bit. I'm going to go back to the app. So, and I'm going to switch back to my base map. Which one was it? Don't remember. This one. Okay. So like I said, there's a couple different ways of searching. If you want to do coordinates, you can just plug something in. So hopefully this will get us in Wisconsin, but we'll see how that goes. Hey, look at that. I actually got us in the state. Cool. So yeah, so now we're in Illinois. If I wanted to, I could, or we're right on the Illinois border, sorry. If I wanted to zoom in on a layer, say we're gonna be working right here, I could draw a box, like say, let's make a polygon. This is our project area. Make a report on it. So there's no archaeology in section 29. There's nothing in section 28. And it looks like there could be a potential for a historic building in the area or in section 29. So this guy right here. So this would be something that where if you're working in an area that's undeveloped, if it's just farmland, there's not a building in the way, you know you're good to go. So again, this is just our attempt to try and make this stuff a lot more efficient, a lot more easy to share with people. So at this point, it looks like I am almost out of time because I was only going for 15 minutes. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And let's see if anyone has any questions yet. Go ahead and hop in.
Thank you, Felipe. At the moment, I don't see any questions yet that have come in on the chat box. If anybody has one out there, please enter it real quick. We do have some comments coming in though, stating you have a great tool there, Felipe. And let's see, I don't see anything else out there. Okay.
Well, in that case, I guess we'll pass on to the next person, and I don't think there's anything else I need to do. If there is, please tell me.
No, I believe we can take that screen back. So,
okay.
Thank you very much, Felipe.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Felipe.